we have another build right here. This time, this will be for the Unraid server. I am technically trying to salvage some of the parts right here, especially this one. One of the reasons why I built a separate gaming computer and getting a Mac Mini was because this motherboard right here was slowly becoming unstable for some reason. I don't know why. It didn't boot after I had a kind of like instability or crashed on my Unraid server. And I thought either the GPU was faulty or the motherboard was faulty. Also the RAM, I was thinking about it. But the error code on this one was the VGA when I tried to restart it, and it seems like it didn't want to boot. So I thought, oh, maybe the GPU, my 6900 XT is going bad. But as you can see from my previous build, I just like tested with another computer. Actually, I built a gaming computer and it's doing great. So it's not the GPU, and I thought it was the RAM. Well, I used the RAM on my sister's computer and they seem to be fine. So I'm thinking maybe it's the motherboard, but what we're gonna do, we're gonna give this a second chance, and we are gonna be building the Unraid server on a separate. We'll be putting this on, I'll show you later. I got the Silverstone 2U chassis for it, but we'll give this another shot and we'll see. So what we have here for this Unraid build, we are doing, I got the AMD Ryzen 7 5700G. So this is not the 5700X. This is the G version, if I believe it's like for the laptop, low power mode type of thing. So what we're trying to do here is kind of like a little budget, but not the cheapest. At the same time, maybe low powered so we can keep this on for a NAS server build. Also, I am planning on using this Unraid as my OBS encoder, so that when I'll be recording on the computer for games or streaming, then I have a separate computer that will capture and encode all the videos. So my GPU is not going to be text and stuff, because previous videos sometimes it gets stuttery or it gets pixelated because I guess GPU can't handle running 4K games at the same time encoding 4K. Also, I have AMD video card. Unfortunately, it doesn't have NVENC or QuickSync. Anyways, moving on, we still have some of the used part right here. This is the Team Group T4's Dark Pro 3200 megahertz CL14. At that time when this came out, this was like the holy grail of RAM for the Ryzen CPUs. This is a Samsung B die, and this was one of the best. So we are still going to be using this one. This one, I ran a few mem tests all the way years ago and then again, and never had problems with this. No errors whatsoever. So I was running the Unraid server on these bad boys right here. Anyways, moving on. We are also going to be using the Seasonic Focus 650 watts, 80 plus gold right here. And then we have some hard drives right here. These ones are not new. These are my existing array drives from my current Unraid server. I got 3 of the Western Digital Gold 16 terabytes. So these are the enterprise hard drives. These are meant to be, I guess, for data centers and stuff, to be turned on 24/7. So I got 3 of them right here. 2 is for the actual array. So I got 32 terabytes and 1 for parity. Okay, moving on. Again, the motherboard, we're gonna try to give this a second chance. This is the MSI Mag X570 Tomahawk right here. Then I have a 10 gigabit cable right here for network. So we are going to be using a 10 gigabits for this one because I want to be able to encode properly and not have problems with transfers and all that later on. Oh yeah, by the way, before I forget, if this motherboard is still messed up or does not post at all or does not work or unstable, I have a backup motherboard right here. Don't worry. If this doesn't work, we're going to use this budget version of a motherboard right here. But we'll see. That remains to be seen. Hopefully, I don't have to use this one, and we're going to use this one, so I can have this for another video. We are going to be using this is I don't know why this is the wrong box right here, but this is basically an M.2 slot for a SATA PCIe 3 8 ports. Basically this tiny card right here. So basically it's like an NVMe or M.2 card. We will be placing this on the M.2 slot, but it has 2 ports right here, but one port, each port has like 4 SATA connections basically for SSDs and probably hard drives. But this is meant to be very, very fast instead of using the built-in SATA ports right here. And lastly, we got the 10 gigabit network card right here. This motherboard has like 2.5 gigabit Ethernet port, but we're not going to be using that. We're going to use the 10 gigabit network card right here. Let's just open this one before we start the build. Then I'll show you later the Silverstone 2U server chassis. Oh, good that it has its own plastic casing or plastic, case cover. Something. Okay, yeah, this is the 10 gigabit SFP plus port right here, network card. Not too shabby. And I believe this controller is Intel 82599EN. Yep, it's the X520 10 gigabit network card. Okay, so let's start putting this one, and then we'll try to see if it posts or not before we will be putting it on the case, I guess. Well, I guess I need to put this on the case because we need to turn this on. But here we go. Let's put in the RAM first because this is the easiest one. Okay, here we go. A little bit of push. Is it okay properly? There we go. Snaps in. Oh, it's the wrong way. Oh my god, don't do this. Don't do that mistake. There we go. All right, let's get the CPU in here. For this build, we are not going to be using a big cooler for now. This has the rate spire, so I think it is sufficient for this build. We're not going to be using this for lots of VM and all that. Maybe only for the OBS in the future, but for now, mainly a NAS server. I was thinking of like having it an ultra low power type of CPU, but I mean, this is low enough, I guess. And it has 8 cores, 16 thread as well. Okay, here we go. Make sure I don't mess this up. Where's the arrow? It's right here. Yeah, it should fall right in. Good. Pretty easy. Okay, let me get the thermal paste. I gotta make sure I don't use all of it because just in case this motherboard doesn't work, I have to take it off and put it on another motherboard. Oh, I gotta clean that. Get some alcohol. Oh yeah, I totally forgot. I also have a bunch of SSDs right here that we are going to be using for the ZFS pool, or actually the my cache pool for the Unraid. All right, so first goal right now is to make sure this motherboard posts before we're gonna proceed. So since the rate spire heatsink already has a thermal paste in here, although this is not the best thermal paste, but we're gonna use it for this one to test if this still posts. The problem is it was on VGA error, right? But this CPU has an iGPU inside, so I guess it will, hopefully it will post, and then we'll try to put in a video card and see if that works or not. But before that, I gotta put in the AMD bracket again, the stock AMD bracket. Yeah, let's put this back. I think this is how it's supposed to be. I forgot the entire backplate. Okay, gotta put the backplate back. Alright, the other one. Okay, by the way, I've had this mistake before. Don't screw this too tight. You screw it tight enough, but not too tight that you're gonna destroy the motherboard PCB. Alright, we're gonna plan out first the orientation. CPU fan is at the top. Will it reach? That's the question. I wanna make sure. Oh, why did I screw? I'm so stupid. Yeah, I didn't need to put that bracket in there. Now I'm gonna take it off. Okay. Okay, let's see. Does it align? Yes, it does. Okay, that's tight enough. Now I'm gonna make, good thing it was already sleeved. Okay. All right, I'll be right back. I'm gonna get the case. We'll try to put this in and see if it posts. All right, so I got the Silverstone 2U server chassis right here. I went ahead and opened it already because it was taking a while and stuff. Also, I went ahead and unboxing the PSU, so it's gonna be ready because we are gonna be checking first if the motherboard will post before we'll continue with the build. I don't want to put this one yet inside the chassis just in case this doesn't post, then I'm gonna have to like unscrew and all that. So right now, let's take the power supply right here, the Seasonic power supply. I'm gonna try to plug them in and see if it will post. Yeah, before I do that, you know, what I noticed with this chassis actually from Silverstone, the 2U, it's kind of odd that the power supply is going to be placed here in the front. This is the front, by the way, here on this side. Just to give you a quick look at it, here's how the front looks like. You see a bunch of buttons right here. There's a power button and a reset button, and 2 USB ports right here, and 4 LEDs, 2 for network, 1 for hard drive, and 1 for the power. Yeah, and that's pretty much it at the front. The side again. This is where the hard drive bay is, and then this one, if I'm not mistaken, this is the 2.5 for the SSD bay right here. And this one right here, there's a separate compartment. You actually have to unscrew this for it. It's kind of annoying. This is not a hot swap chassis from Silverstone, but this is very affordable for a chassis case. Retail price on this one is $175, yeah, as opposed to their regular hot swappable bays at $400 or $500. But I got this on sale actually at around like $150 or less. Anyways, I digress. Let's try to turn this on and hopefully this does not give me a VGA error, or yeah, the VGA light, you know, to post and all that. I don't have in mind, we're not hooking this up to a monitor yet. I just want to see first if this boots up or not. There we go. Get the Seasonic power supply here and plug this in. I like it that the power supply of the case here, the power cable rather, is an L shape. You know what? Let's put it in front for now because we have to plug these power cables. The LED light is right here on the side. We are gonna check it in a bit. There's one more right here, the power cable. Okay, we should make sure where the PSU and stuff. I'm pretty sure this goes to the PSU because this is separated. A little bit of effort right there. Need some strength. All right, let's plug these cables. Okay. So, you cannot mess this up. It's not gonna fit in anyways, but at least you will know there are labels here where to plug them in. So CPU, PCIe is right here. Motherboard is right here. Yep, and it's upside down. That was some effort right there. Okay. So, and if you notice, there are like 3 CPU PCIe slots right here. CPU, PCIe, CPU, PCIe, and these 4 right here are for the SATA cable. And one more. I couldn't care less how this looks at the moment. Just want to see if this will post, and hopefully I don't hit anything in the motherboard, especially when this is already not the best condition. All right, there's no video card currently in the motherboard or on the motherboard, and no hard drive SSD or whatsoever. But the CPU has an iGPU, so we'll see if it posts. Okay, moment of truth. I gotta turn this on first. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Okay, let's see. What light is that? CPU. Oh, it's booting. No, no, no. CPU. The CPU. Oh no, it's booting. No. Here we go. Yeah, it's the VGA arrow light right here. So, unfortunately, this motherboard is really busted. So, we're gonna get a backup motherboard for this build, and I'll be right back. So, I've actually decided that I was gonna wait another day because this motherboard right here actually came in. This is the ASRock X570 Type C. Why I chose this motherboard is because this one got 3 PCIe 4.0 x 16 slots. So that's pretty good because we're going to be using this for the video card, the 10 gigabit NIC card, and then possibly another expansion later on because for the Unraid. But the other thing is the storage. It has the Hyper M.2 PCIe Gen 4 slot, and it has like 2 or 3 of them. So we're going to be using the other one for all our hard drives. We're going to plug it in the NVMe slot. So, not to bore you with all the talk and all that. Also, this has Wi-Fi 6 and all that, but you know, that's not the main thing that I'm getting this one actually. I was gonna get just like a cheap one, but let's open this one and transfer everything to this motherboard right here. Oh, and before I forget, actually, this just came in. I also got the Gigabyte GeForce RTX 4060, but this is not the normal or regular 4060. This is actually the low profile 4060. I don't care about the OC, whatever, it doesn't really matter, but look how tiny this is. We're gonna open this one up before the motherboard. This is really, really tiny. It's really, really low profile. So this is going to fit in this 2U chassis. Can't believe these are really tiny, if you can see. Crazy. But I'm excited that this came in. We're gonna be putting it all together now. I'm actually going to be using this mainly for the OBS capture later on when I will be recording the, games and all that on the desktop, so that my 6900 XT won't be taxed so much, because I'm having some problems with encoding, especially AMD is not the best with OBS. So hopefully this will help with the NVENC encoder right here. As far as the OBS Studio capturing the gaming computer from the Unraid server, that's going to be another video. So let's open this up. Tai Chi. What I like about this one as well, even the back plate is really good actually. It looks nice and all that with the aesthetics. Although you're not going to be seeing this one, but I appreciate it. Okay, so I've screwed in the motherboard right here. It fits very well. One thing kind of weird though is it's kind of odd that the power supply is placed in the front of the case. This is the front right here on the right side. This is the back, and the power supply is placed here on the front, upside down, because there's no grill holes at the bottom. Case right here, I'll show you in a bit. The grill holes is on top here. Also, it's kind of not the best of the cabling, because in the front, especially where the power supply switch is and stuff, this one is upside down. Now the kind of like the shape is facing toward this corner right here, so I had to really make sure I don't mess up the cable on the right side. But anyways, I digress. We will be putting the three 16 terabyte Western Digital Gold hard drives right here, this bay, SSD on this part right here. And if you're wondering what this is not actually for the hard drive bay, although you can technically, but you're gonna need the it's kind of like a 5.5 drive bay case that you're gonna be slotting in here. So it may be a hard drive or a DVD drive, but nobody uses that anymore, or for the SSD, extra SSD here, kind of like a hot swap bay or something. But I digress, that's for another case or later on. So I went ahead, put in the NVMe adapter right here that connects up to 8 SATA drives. So this is pretty good, because this one is PCIe 3.0 up to 6 gigabits per second transfer. So we're using the NVMe slot right here. This motherboard has 3, which is really, really good. And it also has 3 PCIe 4.0 16 slots. So that's what I like about this motherboard, the ASRock X570 Tai Chi. So one minor issue, the motherboard, I guess, metal cover and slash heatsink is one big block. Can you see this one? That's crazy. And it's basically connected to all three of the NVMe slots right here. Now, if we're putting this one right here, we won't be able to put this big block of metal back in here. So that's kind of annoying. I don't know why they decided to put, like, you know, have a massive one block and it's either everything on inside or this is off. That's it. There's no in between. So one minor issue. That's kind of annoying. I'll probably take this thermal pads and just put it on the NVMe right here, because I'm going to be putting one more NVMe on the first slot for my cache drive. But anyways, oh yeah, and look at the VR. This just looks naked right here, and with this thermal pad sitting right there, kind of annoying. But anyways, let's move on. Let's put in the low profile RTX 4060. I already changed the rear plate, or the rear plate for this. The default one is this one, which is, you know, for the regular case and stuff. But they have an extra one for the low profile, so I just changed it. You can change it. So this will fit in the this 2U case right here from Silverstone. And I actually missed the opening, so I have to change that. I gotta move this topmost. I must say though, this was not easy installing. I had to take out the entire front cover and it had like 12 tiny screws, so that was really annoying. Okay, let's put this in. GPU. Yeah, I might have to move this NVMe drive because it's hitting the the GPU is taking the slot, so that's a bit annoying. Either I might move this on top, I guess, and let's see if that works. Let's try that first. Well, I guess hopefully this has the same bandwidth as the first one. I'm gonna have to read the manual after, otherwise this goes to the last lot. Okay, this is moving. Not the best. I might have to use another one. Okay, now let's try to put this in now. See if this has enough clearance. The question is, I should have put the NVMe first before putting the GPU, but let's see. Okay, we're gonna be putting in the Samsung 980 Pro as the cache for the Unraid, of course. Yep, awesome. I was able to make it work. Now I gotta get another screw. Okay, here we go. And finally, we have the 10 gigabit network card right here, SFP+. Let me try to see. Can I take one of this here? I'm curious. Yep. We're just gonna put this in because we can't put the freaking big metal block. Not sure if this works, but yeah, it looks kind of tight right now, only because I'm not sure if we're gonna use the last third one, if it will still have the full bandwidth. I think so, but you know, this will do for now. I'm gonna have to read the motherboard manual again. Okay, that's pretty good. Now we're just gonna have to plug in the powers and all the cables and then the hard drives right here. I'll be right back with the power of video editing. All right, so finally installed all of them in the chassis right here, the Silverstone 2U chassis or case. As you can see here, we have the low profile RTX 4060 right here. I also have the 10 gigabit network card at the bottom, and in between, you probably might not see it, but because I covered it with the thermal pad right here, it's the NVMe. I tried installing the NVMe on the first slot, but unfortunately I was having problems with this, what I call this non-RAID SATA NVMe adapter right here, or card, when I put it here in the middle. So that was kind of a problem, so I had to swap them out. I have to put this on the first one, and all these ones are connected to my 3 hard drives here. They are stacked right here, 3 16 terabyte hard drives connected all the way, and the other connection is on my SSD drive right here. I did not put all 3 at the moment. I am still planning out on whether I need the 3 or not. This is 1 terabyte as well. So we're gonna see if I can get away with this, especially I have this one right here, and I have the cache NVMe here. One thing I kind of, I guess interesting or odd is that the power supply is actually in the front of the case while the hard drives are all the way at the back. I have all the 3 Noctua 80 millimeters here and 160 Noctua millimeters, 5 volts, you know, for exhaust. Only 1 exhaust and 3, but kind of like still in the middle, trying to push all the airflow here. So we're gonna close the chassis and I'll see you on my workstation and set the Unraid up. All right, so I am on my Mac Mini right now. I just have pulled up the Unraid server right here. It's finally running actually, and it's like 2 a.m. right now. And I have been doing all these stuff. I had some initial issues with pool devices in the file cache because I changed the SSDs. If you remember, I was supposed to put all 4, but I decided not to, so I had to reformat those. Other than that, it's running pretty well. Let's go to tools, and just to show you, so it is seeing right now the motherboard right here, ASRock X570 Tight chip, and then the AMD Ryzen 7 5700G with the Radeon graphics, but we don't actually. I did use this for when I had to go to BIOS and stuff, but we also have the graphics here. I will have to check. I'm not sure if it shows here, but it should. Also, the 10 gigabit network card is right here. It is fully detected and recognized. So you see here 10,000 Mbps, full duplex MTU. I haven't set anything. This basically, it was like set to auto. The only BIOS settings I did was the XMP profile for the RAM. So other than that, pretty much everything was set to auto. Motherboard right here, processor seems to be good, cache, memory status, memory devices, and Ethernet. So Ethernet cable, yeah, right here. So it's pretty, it was really a plug and play. Let's go to system devices and see if the RTX is detected. Yep, it is right here. So that is no problem. It's detected and all. We're not passing through anything right now because we're basically going to use this Unraid server to record and encode all desktop recordings, especially when I'm reviewing games rather, on the OBS, but that will be for another video. So what we're going to do right now, I wanted to test the 10 gigabit Ethernet performance. Unfortunately, my Mac Mini is only 1 gigabit Ethernet, so I don't think we'll get past 1 gigabit on that, but we'll see. I already installed iPerf 3 right here to check, so we're going to do that, and then the client, and then the IP address of my server. Let's go. So yep, as expected, I have a 1 gigabit Ethernet cable right here, so I mean NIC rather, so it's averaging around 943 mbits per second, sender and receiver. And then we're going to check it on Windows 11 and see, because my Windows 11 gaming computer has 2.5 gigabit Ethernet right there. And then we'll come back here. All right, so we are on Windows 11 right now. We are going to run the speed test again. So we are going to run the iPerf 3. And this is for the client, and then my Unraid server IP address. Now, I have a 2.5 gigabit Ethernet on the Windows gaming rig that I have right now. So let's see. So far it's running at 2.3 7 gigabits per second. So that's not bad. It's pretty good, considering it's 2.5 GBE. So a lot better than the Mac Mini, because I only have 1 gigabit Ethernet on the Mac Mini. But unfortunately, right now I don't have a 10 gigabit Ethernet client yet. I should have gotten the 10 gigabit Ethernet for the Mac Mini, but this is what we have at the moment. At least it's running right now. All right, and we're back in Mac OS right now. So pretty much everything is fully set up. Hopefully, I'm going to be monitoring my Unraid server. I was able to recover everything right here, except for the app data. I had to reformat that, but I still got all my files and folders right here. Basically, it's these array right here, worth about, I don't know, 7 terabytes right now. It used to be more before, but I had to delete them and all that. And currently, my Time Machine is backing up the M4 Mac Mini as we speak. But that's it for this video. We're gonna have an OBS studio setup capturing the gaming computer from the Unraid server on the next video, so stay tuned for that. But right now, this is Lars, and I'll see you in the next video.